Hair first.
So you wash your hair every time?
Well, I only take like one shower every 6 days, so.
How long is your shower?
My waxer never complains. She's very professional, unlike you.
And on top of that, to be paying somebody whole rent, of course your ass gonna want to go 50-50. I quite literally want to ask him to send me half for this meal.
Could you imagine if there were only male strip clubs? Could you imagine if the corn industry was male only?
We started to make it so that we did not need men. But not needing men does not mean we don't want them.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
Are men just now figuring out how scary it is to be a woman just walking in the street? And I don't mean to be ungrateful for all of the men I'm seeing covering this story of these serial punch attackers in New York City, because any attention to violence against women is a win. But like, there's countless women beaten by their boyfriends and husbands and partners every single day. But it's only newsworthy if it's the rarest case of violence against women, because most cases are men that they know. The men that are doing it are your friends, your brothers, your classmate, and men don't say anything. If a girl that's a friend of yours says, hey, your friend, that's a guy, is acting sketchy around women or saying weird things around women, are you going to believe them? Are you going to change the way that you interact with this said friend so you can keep women safe? Or are you just going to talk about it on TikTok when it becomes a viral moment? I hate that my immediate concern is, are they only talking about this because it'll get them views? This shit happening for decades, for centuries. Yet we're not believed. We're told we are over-exaggerating when we say we're scared to walk outside of our houses. We can't walk at night. We can't do this. We can't do that because we are afraid. And we have every single right to be afraid. I desperately hope that these men get caught. I see these women giggling out of shock in their videos explaining what happened, but make no mistake, their lives are forever changed.
Man, I'm starting to think something wild. Like, I'm starting to think a feminist is going around punching women in the face to try to make this stick, right? Just so they can have something to talk about, saying, look, we're in danger. Just like they tried to pull the 4B movement in South Korea and it didn't work. And they're still on TikTok saying, oh, yeah, like women are doing this. They're still trying to push it. Listen. Guys already know there are certain few women that go through these things every year, right? But it's already proven there's more men that go through this. But nobody cares about the men. Forget men. They can protect themselves, right? Forget men. Give them more jail time. They're fine. They can deserve it. Lock them away, because every man is bad.
What's the first thing you wash?
Okay, I definitely go hair first.
So you wash your hair every time?
Well, I only take like one shower every 6 days, so.
So you start with hair.
Then face wash. Then I get out.
Brother,
How long is your shower?
Like 4 minutes, and I'm not ashamed. I do not wash my body. It's a waste of time. The soap like runs down you.
Sure.
And then you just kind of.
So proud.
Yeah.
How I take a bath after wearing the same pair of underwear for a week.
I told y'all.
I gotta stop really quickly. That's disgusting. Women in US and certain other parts of the world are disgusting. The way they paint the narrative, you would think women overseas are the most disgusting women you'll ever meet, and that's not the case. But y'all are nasty, and this is coming from Life of a Brazilian Waxer. 7-day-old draws. This is what she said.
You were all in my comments. Oh, this can't be true. You must be looking at people's underwear. Nobody wears underwear for 7 days. This is what's being presented to us in our waxing rooms.
I don't wipe. My waxer never complains. She's very professional, unlike you. It's very sad that I'm deemed not professional because I choose not to clean you.
says, when people come in and they have poop on their butts, do you ask them to clean up before you wax? I have them clean themselves. So I'm very descriptive. I need you to go ahead and take this pad and you're going to clean the front, middle, and back. And I really want you to make sure you get everything in that back. I'm not going to be able to do the wax until you can get this cleaned up. Then they take it serious because they want their wax.
Damn, these girls, I don't know what it is.
You're going to see old poop and new poop. Their poop butts, in my opinion, are just, they don't wipe.
Why use some toilet paper? I just use soap and water to wash my dirty bottom. I smell like candy cotton.
Don't know why they don't wipe. I don't know how and where they came to get to this space.
Use tabo in the CR, let me show you now. Grab your tabo and don't forget your favorite soap. Wash your bottom well, now you're a Filipino.
But they don't wipe. So
y'all nasty. Like I would before, I remember I didn't use a bidet, right? I made sure I put water on the tissue, or I would use a paper towel to put water and then, you know, do my thing, and then put another paper towel after that to make sure all of the water got out of it, to make sure I was clean down there. So you have women out there not wiping. I'm so happy I didn't come across that when I was in the States.
You want to be vegan?
Because I don't want to abuse and murder animals. Yeah.
You started to be vegan?
Just over 5 years ago. Yeah. You should really watch Dominion on YouTube. It's very eye-opening. It's all footage in Australia in the meat, dairy and egg industries. It's awful what's happening to animals.
I respect that.
What is with this?
No, it's well, interested in you.
Okay,
so
cool.
What made you a vegan?
I watched a documentary called Food Choices, and I realized that I was an animal abusing hypocrite because I didn't want to contribute to someone else's abuse and murder, so I went vegan overnight, like on the spot.
So like, you haven't tasted anything since?
No.
You haven't tasted anything?
But that was when I was 23. So I was a non-vegan for 23 years of my life, and then I went vegan just over 5 years ago.
Because
yeah.
Do you feel for them? Like, do you feel for the animals when they get killed?
Definitely. I've been to slaughterhouses and I've seen them crying and terrified for their lives. I've heard pigs screaming inside gas chambers, just here outside of Perth.
How about free range?
That's a con. It's a marketing lie.
So like,
if someone's living a happy life and then you murder them, does that justify it? Does that make it okay? Just because they're free range?
Free range?
They're still murdered. They're still sent to the same slaughterhouse. Yes. And that includes all dairy cows, all egg-laying hens. It's not just the meat industry. All these industries, once the animals are no longer profitable, they're sent to murder.
So how do you feel when people eat chicken in front of you?
I feel sad. I see a baby. I see someone eating a baby. Chickens are only 6 weeks old.
So this makes you sad?
Yes, because that is a 6-week-old baby.
So like, if I do this?
Yeah. You're eating a baby. Yeah. Pardon?
How do you know it was a baby?
Yeah, but regardless, that is someone else. Whether they're a baby or not, you are eating someone's body. You've just paid for someone's murder.
What is your sexuality?
What do you mean, like straight? Straight? Pardon? Vegans do have better sex, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, they got you. I guess that's what happens. You gotta expect that when you go outside and you're doing things like that. Like, especially the ones that go around saying, we're standing up for feminism. Those are even more funny. We get on to the next one.
I see why you men want to go 50-50 with women now. Long story short, my man got a new phone because he broke his phone and he bought a new one. He had a 12 Pro Max and I said, hey, can I have the phone? He said, yeah, you can have it, but you got to get it fixed because the screen is broken. I said, okay, I'll go drop the phone off to get fixed. And then I decided to go get some lunch. And I'm like, hey, you want something? I'll pick up something for you. We done got 2 margaritas and lunch, and it's $75. I feel like it's a fair trade because I get a phone and I'm like, okay, but damn, $70 for lunch? But that's for 2 people. Keep in mind, he does eat more than I eat. My meal was probably like $24, but that every single day to have to keep up with you're eating a lot and then somebody else is eating on top of that is a lot of fucking money. And then on top of that, to be paying somebody whole rent, of course your ass gonna want to go 50-50. I quite literally want to ask him to send me half for this meal. But I'm not going to do that because, you know, I want to, you know, give back because he always giving me stuff. Man, is this how y'all been feeling all this time? This is how I feel about the 50-50 situation. I'm okay with going 50-50 for a good amount of time, but at a certain point to where I get to a certain age, I want my man to be able to take care of me. And that's how I feel. But right now with this economy and this structure, I can understand it, man. It's expensive out here, y'all.
Give that woman a round of applause. She's a keeper. Cherish her. Protect her. Especially if she's not a 304. Cherish a woman like that. There are women like that from the community that are not 304s. But you already know what I'm going to say. So far, so few. You got to search high and wide, and you may not find it. Be careful what state you search, though. But yeah, this is how it is, and she understands it. She knows the economy. Guys, I'll tell you, I was out there to drop my son off. I didn't feel it when I picked him up. I felt it when I dropped him off. When I dropped him off, I was stuck in the airport, right? And I felt it because I seen the airport prices and also the higher prices. Also, I seen the higher prices when I was in the West. Like when I was in a gas station in Georgia, and I'm looking for chips and things, and I'm seeing the chips were like much more than they were before I was there, when I was there last time. Of course, it's been like 10 years. But still, guys, the chips were crazy. Inflation is high. And you do need someone helping you pay these bills. Let me hop on to the next one.
This man saying, this is how we get a culture where women use men for free food and entertainment. Ladies, could you imagine the paradise where we're the ones that are using men? Where men aren't the ones that are using us?
That's happening now. She must not be doing it that much. But women are doing that. She's not in the loop.
Could you imagine if there were only male strip clubs? Could you imagine if the corn industry was male only? If the standard was a stay-at-home dad? If we put our needs first? If we were the ones that said, stay home, sacrifice your career? This was a comment from a video where I was saying a man should spend at least $75 when he's going on a first date, which by the way is like a 2-top at Applebee's, but apparently I'm a gold digger. Go to that video and read all the comments from men that are like, I expect you to put out if I'm gonna pay that much money. So you're gonna use me? When women say we want you to actually take us on a date that costs more than $5, all of a sudden we're the ones trying to use them. I'm not gonna make a list of all the ways in which men use women. I'm gonna let men's little pea brains kind of sit with this for a little bit. Like really try to connect the dots. Maybe even just do a Google search. Men wonder why we don't want to continue the human race.
No, you're wrong, right? See, I can't lie. The amount of money you're setting is low, right? You said $75, like, yeah, especially if it's 2 people, $100. That's a normal date, right? But women are demanding $1,000, which is crazy. Now, the guys, I'll be honest, the guys that were looking at your TikTok, they may not be going on dates because $75 is like, whoa. Just to go outside and get some chips, it costs you $5, right? I mean, of course, Donald's or things like that are still low. But yeah, things a little bit high, but still, you're wrong. I don't know where you are. You must not be in the loop because guys are getting taken to the cleaners out there. Let me go on to the next one.
Would you quit? Seriously.
Oh, here we go again.
Hi, my name is Shannon. If you know my content is usually on my DNP project and my uterine fibroid education project, and I'm still working on the statistics and what I might need to do for next steps for my project. So don't come for me in the comments asking me for my results just yet. I'm not ready.
We do not care.
But I wanted to kind of speak on something that keeps showing up in my TikTok algorithm for some reason about traditional women and passport bros. So this is a trigger warning. If you don't want to, watch this, please scroll on for your mental health sake. But I wanted to kind of point out some things about the historical context of traditional women and why women in our community are a little bit more independent. So, first of all, let's get into the fact that women in our community, Black women, may not have always been afforded the same choices as, say, other women in other communities. For the longest time, we were seen as second-class citizens. We were also seen as the help. And so since we were seen as the
boo-hoo, boo-hoo, we're disadvantaged. It's everybody.
Word.
Since we were seen as the help a lot of the times,
What I mean by everybody, all women are independent.
Our husbands or whatever was making enough money to actually support us and we didn't have to work, there were certain ordinances and mandates that stated that idle black women, meaning us raising our children at home, still had to work in a white person's house. So that whole idea of a woman staying home taking care of her kids, that was actually taken from us a long time ago. Secondly, when you have a household where that husband has to go out and have to deal with the world and the woman is in the household taking care of the kids, that man now has work experience outside of the household. That woman has work experience inside of the household. That household work does not get the same respect as that outside of the household work. Meaning that a man, let's just say he didn't leave, maybe he died. Maybe something happened and he could no longer work. That left that woman vulnerable with taking care of her kids financially, psychologically, and unable to handle and process things, on the outside of the world because her husband always did it. So what did women start to do? We started to educate ourselves. We started to make it so that we did not need men. But not needing men does not mean we don't want them. We want them to match our energy. And if you're about matching that energy, you will always have a place in a woman's heart.
What are you waiting for?
This is the way.
Have the day you deserve.
That doesn't mean that you stay at, 200 to 300 pounds and demand and be that 200, 300 pounds and demand a man to match you going out there making, I give you what, 80,000, 90,000. So you want a man to match that and accept you being the way you are. So you want a man, and I'm sure you ask her, hey, Miss Shannon, do you want a guy 6 feet? Yes. 6 feet, 6 figures. Because I'm making at least 80 and I need a man that's above me. And what do you think made Kevin Samuels so popular? His show every day. He broke down Woman Like You and he would start out saying, what do you consider yourself? How do you think you look? The reason he did that was so you can break yourself down and show yourself how you don't deserve these type of men. These men that are high value. You don't deserve it because they have the pick of the litter. And then woman turn around and the same woman that I showed on the last video, right? She reacted. She blamed what very few guys are doing to women on all of the men. Women continue to do that and then wonder why guys feel this way. And so passport rolls around because most women are demanding 100,000 off this stuff. So are men complaining for no reason? No, it's not a complaint. It's fact. The reason why we show our videos is to show that it's a fact. Most women want these things. You women show it's not a fact because you're dealing with such a small amount of men. And you ladies need to realize because guys aren't coming back around anytime soon. I'm happy early in the video, certain women are starting to realize I need to jump on this 50-50 thing and take that serious with a guy because I need someone around. Yeah, a lot of women are starting to realize that. But actually not a lot, some. And that's good for them. But yeah, woman like you will be done because you don't realize. Guys see it's definitely more to life to deal with women outside than to deal with you.
He ain't lying.
So he's